full. Everyone is in here. Um, Give me a minute. I just started recording, guys. So basically, we were looking at the merge queries and append queries. So we will just continue from there. Okay. And this is very important because this you can expect as one of the interview questions as well. Okay. So here, when we are looking at the merge, we created a new merge approach. And when we created new merge, we thought of taking one of the column from the people table, okay, which we did last time. And when we are merging the tables as such, we are trying to take the necessary columns into our new query, which we did last time, okay. And let's look for one more example actually, okay. Again, when we are in orders table, I'm creating a merge as new. And in orders table, we are taking a in region column as a specific common column across people table and the orders table. Okay. And if we look at this join kind, okay, we took left join previously, but this time we will take right join. Okay. So that we are matching all the records from the right table as such. And if we look at the selection matches one of three rows from the second table. Why it says three rows? Again, if we see, we just filtered out the column in the orders table just for each region. Okay. So I'll just click OK. And you see here the data that you would get, it should be only specific to the East region as such, because I just filtered out the East region in my orders table as, and the null data is coming. Okay. You can go back and look in the region in here. It is being filtered by each region, and how we filtered out that is we using the parameter that we created region as such. And in region, if we go, it says East region. And if we see, we can even say West region in here. And if we go to the orders table, it will get filtered using the region which is as a West. Okay. And also in merge, if we go, whatever the right join we created, it will show you the West region. అంటే ఇక్కడ మనం ఆల్రెడీ వెస్ట్ రీజన్ సెలెక్ట్ చేసుకున్నాము, అందుకనే ఇక్కడ ఫిల్టర్ అయ్యేది వెస్ట్ రీజన్ అనేది. ఇది చూస్తే కనుక సో సేమ్ థింగ్ ఏదైతే అవుట్పుట్ ఉందో మనకు అదే వచ్చింది. ఓకే. అయితే మీరు when we go to the advanced editor also, you can find that. Okay, what was the join that was created right outer, and what are the tables that are participated in this join kind. So it is like a people table and the orders table, and region column is the common column that will be in flower brackets, and the tables that are participating in the join are like shown in here. And if I highlight these, you see what is the source, what are the columns being filled, and that is all being shown in here. What is this? This is again shows the advanced editor of that specific table as such. That's how you are able to identify what is it showing all about as such. Okay. Then I'll just say done. Okay. But instead of this right join, I can do what here it is like left join also, where I can change it this in the uh, advanced editor itself. Now I'll click OK. Now find current what is it? Make sure it's spelled correctly. It says left outer. I will select it. Left outer only. Join time left. The join seems to be fine only, but for some reason that it was giving an incorrect in here as such. And I just updated it from the source in here as such. However, it's giving. So now we can select what all columns we need from that. And again, I need the person column, and I'm getting the person name here as such from the uh, person table that we have selected. Okay. And there are a couple of more things when we are trying to create this kind of joining here. Okay, we will look at those also. If we see, we have left join, right join, and full outer join, where it will give the records from both tables, orders table and people table. Okay. Inner join will just give the matching records, left anti-join and right anti-join, wherein for left anti it will just give the rows only in first, okay, that too the matching rows as such. And right anti, it will just give the records from right only, and that too only which are not matching as such. Okay, this and this, those two are like not matching records as such. Okay, let's see an example for the anti as well. Okay, just go in here. Instead of this, we'll just create one more. Okay, in new, merge new, and again the people table. The common column I'm selecting in here the region, and I will select left anti, and you can see the output now. And there are no records that are giving in here. Okay, as I was referring, it will just give the non-matching records from the left one. Okay, and if you see each and every record, okay, that is in the region column, okay, are all matching with the people column here. So that is where it is not giving any records as such in here. Okay, I'll show you again the right anti. Let's say, let's look at the right anti. Okay, again going to the orders table, create merge query as a new. Okay, and here the region column I'm selecting in here, and the people, I have selected the region in here. Instead of this right anti, I will select. The selection excludes one of three rows from the second table. It says, okay, if I select left anti, the selection excludes all the 3000 records. That's where it did not give anything. If I select right anti join, the selection excludes one of the three rows. So the output will be excluding the west. It will give the other two. So I have just selected that, and you see the null is the record that we have got, because this is what being excluded as such, the null. Okay, because in that we have the west join, sorry, west region as such, and that got selected, and it just gives the null as a record. This is coming out of my orders table as such. Okay, so these are the different joints that we have. So when someone asks you about these joints, okay, within the merge option, you can explain that we have both like merge within that same table, or within the merge as a new table, both ways. Okay, then we have something called append queries, and append queries as a new as such. Okay, now if we see, I'll just want to take a different table as such for the merge queries. Okay, wherein I will just take a duplicate of this geners table as such. Let me duplicate, and I will just take up. That's fine. Geners we have, and geners too. In this, I'll just take only the top 5 records, and I will exclude the other records as such in here. So here, let me sort this first as and okay, this is a text, that's the reason it's getting sorted as invariable in here. So let me make this as a phone number, and let me sort this now. Now you see 1, 2, 3 sorting this time. So I will just select only the top 5 records as I was referring. The fifth record is missing somehow. So let me go and check that the record is in here, right? Where did that go? Okay, leave it. That's not a problem. So I would like to do a append between this table and this table as well. Okay, then just try and understand the records first. Okay, geners, ID, and gener table. Uh, where this talks about which genre it is. It is related to some audios actually, or movies also you can say, where Western drama, science fiction, or movies, something like that you can understand. So here I will create a append query as a new, okay, by going to the genre sample. Which one I would like to append is genre section. Okay, I'll click OK, and it will create a new append one. Now you see it just added the data just below the geners table, and all the five records you can see at the bottom here. Okay, and first of all, we have to understand few things in here when we are appending the data. The column count should be same. The column name should be same. Then whatever the data that you are appending, uh, two tables, right? That will be added just below that. Okay. And let's see if I just change the name of this. Okay. As I'll just add S towards the end of this. Okay. Now let's see the output in here. You see the data that got added as a new column. Okay. And for the rest of the values, wherever it is killer, it's a start type. It got added as a new column and the data got added there. Okay. So if the column names are same, only then the append would work. Instead, if not, it will give the null values that is similar to here. Okay. So merge is nothing but we are trying to create a join between tables. Append is nothing but we are trying to add data from multiple tables. We can either add into the same table or we can create a new table by combining two tables. This is how the merge or the append works in here as such. Okay. Any questions around these two? These two being very important. If asking whether you have any question. Okay. So Pratap, any question?
No, sir. There is no question.
Okay. And the rest part wherein the test analytics or vision, these they usually need some AI functions. Okay, that is where even I do not have those options actually. So AI insights are something nothing but we have to have some extra connectivity more, whether it is related to the AI functions as such, which even I do not have. So I will not be taking you through these. And probably in my experience also, I did not use any of these options till now. And in case if we are looking at some kind of visuals or such, we can just load some visuals or by writing R code or Python code within the front end, where we have certain visuals that are related to R or Python in this actually. But for AI, I do not have anything related to those. Okay. And for this combining of files as such, probably we will have to merge all files in a given column into a single table. So basically, if we have something SharePoint or a folder, certain thing, then we can combine these files, and that for that reason you would use. But mostly append, how the append works, it will work in a similar fashion in here, and basically if we are having certain files which I took as a folder as such, okay, in that case it will just combine those files and it will give a single table as an output as such. Okay, again we can think of an example of geners two as such. Let's say if those two are in like single rows, one single column, okay, then we will be able to add those two, okay, and we can get the output by using this combined conversion. Okay. Then we'll go with the transform as such. Okay. Again, there will be some few similar options that you can see here, group by and here group by as such. They works similarly. Okay. And there is no extra use, but you may ask like why they have given the group by option. Wherein few things like use first row as headers and all, this will be commonly used across all the thing actually. And few things are like they make the changes within a specified column. Okay, but few things they make changes in by adding a new column as such. For that reason, they have added these things as a separately in here. Okay, if we see group by is also there. Use first row as headers. Use first row as headers. The same options are available in here also. Okay, and let's see that actually. If we see use first row as headers, I'm just adding in here again same functionality that is in here as there is no change in the first functionality wise, wherein it just removing the current header and adding as a new. That's it, nothing else. Then comes the option of transpose, okay, or reverse rows or count rows. These are like specific to the column to row functionality or just counting of rows, something like that. Okay, these will be done. So let's see the example for this also. If we see, we have the people table where we have the minimum rows. Okay, we'll just take the transpose as an option, and you see the names are being added as a column wise, and to which region they are being added, that are added in row wise as such. So in this scenario, again, what you can do is for each and every particular column, if you want to add the name of the salesperson as a header, then you can do that actually using this. So you are using two things. One, the transpose, and the other is like using that first row as a header. Okay, and there may be few of the scenarios why would you use that. Okay, that we can look at the unpivot and the pivot options. Okay, when it is when you have a large set of data, wherein probably the load itself happens instead of you getting the data in a columnar, it will give the data in a row wise. Then you would use these options like whether it may be transpose, pivot column, or unpivot column, something like that. And the second thing that we have in here is reverse rows. Okay, reverse rows is nothing but it will just show, just change the order of the data. Wherein if we see the Anna Andriadi, it shows as a third record now, but initially it was the first record. Okay, it will just reverse rows for each and every column as such, not just one single column if that is being selected. No, it will just change the rows for all the columns in the table that you are working with. Okay, that is the reverse rows. And count rows, it will just give the output. Okay, even though you may ask like you can just see the numbers, right? Like why can't you get the count rows for each? You can just count and check, right? But when you have a table which is such a big data where it says 999 plus rows, okay, for that you may not get the count as such immediately. So in that case, what you will do, you will go in here count row. Now you see the data shows like 3,203 rows. Okay, probably this may not be done using that option wherein you're counting it manually. Right? Okay, for that you will use this count rows option. Then we have something called data type change. Okay, that we have already looked in, and detect data type. This is something used when there is a probability of the Power BI or the Power Query may not identify the column data type as such. In that ways, if the data, if the column data type you want to detect a data type as such, then it will we can run this. It will automatically run some query behind, and it will try to check the data type each and every column, and it will assign the data type. Okay, and for this, it automatically looked at the particular column that got selected, and it was checking the data type, and that's where it shows like row ID is integer data type, which is the numerical, and the order ID is a text. It has assigned order. Okay. For a renaming of a column, we can even use in here, can rename in here, or if we double click, then also we can rename. Okay. Also, right click here also you can rename here. It is the option. The renaming option for a particular column name, there are three different type options that you can rename. So just click on that, or double click on the name, or just right click, then also you will find the rename option. And for the replacing of the values, okay, where we looked at those earlier, like for this option where we selected the first class, same day, second class, standard class. Okay. And for that, we can either replace in here, or replace by right clicking, replace value, replace errors. These options is useful. And these are the two different ways where you can replace the values. Actually. Then we can just look at the fill option, fill down or fill up. Okay. Uh, let's say there are certain empty rows, okay, where just below these, if you find certain empty rows, okay, and if you want to fill some kind of CD, something like that, or fill the same name below that, in those scenarios, this fill option will be useful. Sorry about that. And just enter data. Okay, for example, I'm just showing you that, and I'll just add some rows in here. Okay, I'll just type in 1, 2, 3. Okay, and I'll click OK. Now you see a new table will be added in. See, and let's say there should be a blank as such actually. When I have it, let me add two blanks in here. Usually that would come up automatically. Uh, okay. Maybe. I'm just typing another column in here. Now you see there are blanks in the first column. Then if I say fill down, give me a second. Let me change the type to whole number in here. Okay. Then if I select fill down, then it uploaded. Previously, the data type was ABC, which is a text. That is where it was unable to identify what to fill below. Okay. You see, I was just trying to look at the fill in here, fill down. Now you see there are blank values. Okay, it is not able to fill what it is. So it usually fills the last value just below that. So I just change the whole number. Now fill down. You see the value, same value was filled to the rest of the rows. That is what the fill down is useful. Similarly, fill up, if there are any null values, the last value will be filled up. That's the only thing, main differences. Okay. Then we have something called the pivot use names. So if we see the pivot column, okay, use names in the currently selected column to create new columns, okay, tables with nested columns and are not nested columns are not supported. Okay, let's see this as an example. Okay, pivot column, I would say, and I am saying the column to pivot action. Okay, now you see for each and every particular uh, column, okay, it created a sorry, each particular row of the first column, it created a row columns, and then it added the values that are shown in the column 2 as such. Okay, let's see the column 1 and column 2. For each and every row of the column 1, it added separate columns as such. Okay, and for the second column, it just added the values. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the value 3, wherever it shows, it just took the count and just set that as 5. Okay. So now see column 1, column 2, column 3, 1, 1 value and 5. Okay. This will help us in identifying what is the count of a specific value in the column that we are looking at, and the columns count that will show based on the values that are there, okay, in column 2 for this example. Okay, there may be a number of reasons why you would like to pivot data. Okay, basically you just want to show the count of these value which is showing in the column 1, so it will give the 5 values. Okay, in the same way, let's say sorry, I'll just pivot that and leave it as is. Okay, the column 2. In the same way, if at all we want to unpivot also, we'll do the same unpivot also. Okay, unpivot is nothing but, okay, let's say within this particular order stable we took yesterday, I think. Okay, we we have added the person as the last one in here. Okay, so let me select a particular column which is state in here. Okay, and I will say unpivot other columns, and you see the state which I selected, it is just showing you the values as such. Okay, is selected as a column, and the other values it just shows as an attribute and a one. Probably this scenario is not the correct one. Give me a minute. So let me show you only that is relevant in here. I'll just remove the other columns. So customer name, country I will select, and the sales I will select. Okay, I will say remove other columns, country and sales. Okay, so unpivot uh, unpivot columns I will select. Okay, now based on the both the columns, okay, it's just giving the country name and the uh, country as a column name and the United States. Okay, let me take another example. I will say unpivot columns. I think now you see the country, the sales, and the value that is giving. Okay, sales for each and every a row, it is giving the values as such. Probably this being the value just for the specific country, it's giving the values as such. Okay, let me take another example. Um, Let me take a small table itself. This would be better. And let me remove this filter actually. And from the orders table, if I want to like look to the Give me a minute. Sorry, I had to attend a call. Sorry for that. So the example that we are looking in order to unpivot columns is wherever that we want to get the values as such, that should be in a columnar format, and the values that are showing just below that will be added as a attribute and values as such, both. That was showing similarly when we were looking at in here this example where we were trying to look at some orders table type. Which one? Yeah, yeah. So that kind of example I do not have right now. Okay, wherein these all will give a different weird results as such. That will not fetch us the right way. But I will just take another example of the data and I will show you in the next classes as such for this. Okay, but we'll just put this as a park in a parking lot. Okay. Then we have something called move. Okay. If at all we want to move this particular column left to right or right to left, something like that, then we will use this option. Just that if we see the shift date, after that we have shift mode. I am saying to move right. Okay. Now you see after the shift date is moved to shift mode, something like that. Just for that, this is used. Just moving the specific column that we are selecting to end, to beginning, to right or left, something like that. So it just moves the column. And row ID, if at all I want to move, I will just move towards the end actually. You see, towards the end, the row ID which is coming up in here, towards the end. Okay, that's how this is useful. And next is the list actually. This list, if you remember about the parameters that we looked at actually, okay, there we were having an option to create from list as such. So it says suggested value, any values, list of values or query. Okay, list of values. This list of values we can pass in using this option as such. Okay, so how will we do that? Let's see that quickly. Orders table. In this, I will just say go to region column. I have selected this column. So I will say remove other columns. I will just say transform, convert to list. You see, I am getting the list of values in here. Okay. Probably the values which I need, it will be only one single time. So I will just ignore this one. Go to the people table, which we have in here. And here, I will just remove this column. And this one is a table actually now. If you see, it's a table. Okay. But when I go and transform, convert to list, it got created to a list in here. You see, it shows a different thing. So list is nothing but the values that we want to pass into a parameter. Okay. So new parameter. And if I select list of values or a query, sorry, query, you can see select people three. People three is showing as a list now. Okay. So now I will select that. Whatever the current value it is, I can pass it. So now we are creating another parameter where we are taking the list as a values. Okay. For that reason, this list is useful. Okay. So what we did again, just trying to show you. We are just going to transform, going to a specific table, selecting the column, and remove. Select. We have to select only one single column. That too, okay. And we are saying remove the column. This being a table now, I'm converting to a list, and this got converted to a list. If we see in here, where the left hand side that shows this is a table, this is a list that is showing. Okay. I just want to stop in here and we'll just continue. Okay.